Some of this comes from my dreamers. They tell me things, and I'm supposed to interpret it and do something with it. So this is a distillation of these words. There is only one problem in the world. Too many people. People are not in harmony with nature. What the human beings have forgotten is that they are the weakest species on the planet. Everything that they have learned of importance was taught to them by the plants and the animals. They are the teachers. The human beings are the students. Humans have learned weaving, medicine, all of these things from animals. Humans are the least nature-conscious creatures on the planet. It is by great effort that human beings become attuned and begin living in harmony with nature. It is not an instinct. That is why human beings do not live in nature. It is not a natural aspect of them. It is something they gain through culture, training, and personal effort. Human beings are the only creature on this planet that have to ask, what is the meaning of life? These humans, the least nature-conscious creatures of the planet, are now in the driver's seat of this planet's eco-future. That, if it doesn't scare you, I don't know what will. It scares me to the very depth of my soul. People believe they are God's chosen creatures. There are no chosen creatures. Every one of God's creatures shares this planet equally. Human beings, again, I must remind you, are probably the least significant, weakest members of this planet. They have to work hard to learn how to live on this planet. Telling people to be fruitful and multiply is equivalent to telling teenagers to drive fast and often. When the Europeans arrived in North America, they found a beautiful, pristine, well taken care of continent. It was so well preserved and so well taken care of, they thought that nothing was here. They thought it was virgin land, virgin territory. And the reason they thought this is because the inhabitants here, though they were few, they were nature conscious. And I believe that part of the reason they were few is because they were nature conscious. They understood that the hunting grounds, the fields, like in my people, we were agriculturists, could only support so many people. And we did what was necessary to maintain a balance with the environment that we lived in. We had no ambitions of being a great power or dominating the world or any other nation next to us. It's time to sober up and realize that man needs plants and animals to survive. Uncontrolled growth and human waste threaten the plants and animals that are the very key to our survival. I realize my words are not really directed at you. I am preaching to the choir. I understand this. But when Eric invited me to speak at an open conference, one that would be publicized and go out to the public, I knew what I had to say. And the words are harsh, I understand, but they are true. And I hope that somehow, some way, these words will reach the outside world, so that at the very least, the human beings that will be affected by the coming changes will understand why and what is going on. An enlightened government would have in its Bill of Rights the rights of nature. Native Americans have an unwritten constitution, but the rights of nature are at the very top of that constitution. It is imperative that the rest of the world, the rest of the human beings, put this on their agenda. Now, getting back to that part about the dreamers. One of the most powerful dreams that was brought to me was this person said they were given a view of the future. They said it was the year 7500. They said what they saw when they walked on the land was a beautiful, pristine, beautiful place with trees and animals, birds, melodious sounds, but they walked quite far and they saw no human beings. We can interpret this dream two ways. The positive way No, I'll do what Eric said. Negative first. The negative interpretation is we didn't make it. Human beings disappeared from the planet Earth. Mother Nature generated a bunch of new creatures to cover her face. The positive is that just like in the early days when the Europeans arrived here, a small group of nature-conscious people inhabited the earth, and it looked like no one had walked here. They walked very lightly, and that is why it looked the way it did. That is my message. I thank you for not shooting the messenger. And I will pass the staff back to the moderator.
Where's Diane? Diane, moderator.